position, who then are very aggressive with their weapons.
And they left 2 tanks, 2 Panthers. One was giving the other covering fire. One would sit there and poke at anybody who showed up on top of the hill. The other guy who turned around and going like hell the other way. My buddy Ed was there, and Ed looked at the situation because he didn't put his tanks over the top. He kept them behind the crest, what they call sort of a turret down position, because they could kill you. They could put a shell in the front of a Sherman and it'll come out the back. And they could do it 3 miles away. And Ed looked at the situation and figured out, well, maybe I can get these both if I do it right. So he gave gunner control, and the gunner will drop the breech on his gun and look through the gun barrel and watch the gun crest clearance, and he gets his sight on the tank. When he's got crest clearance, then he fires. The dangerous one was the one that was facing him because it has the heavier plate in the front, and it has the gun in the front, which still could get him. In that first tank, he was backing up along a little narrow road with ditches on the side, and he accidentally backed the back corner over the ditch, and it tipped up the next plate. It was just a flat plate, not very thick.
The 45-ton Panther has 80 millimeters of sloped frontal armor, making it almost impenetrable. But its underside is only 30 millimeters thick and very vulnerable.
You could see what was happening and studied the thing, and he hit her right bang in the middle of this plate. So he just kept firing. This thing brewed up, and I don't know if people get out or not. But the other one was going the other way. The gun was pointing away from him, and the back of a Panther tank is not thick. It's probably 3 inches. Around at on the other tank, and he ricocheted off the deck and took the commander's head off. Everybody hopped out of that one that could hop out, and that tank was left there.
With that, the last remaining obstacle in the Hochwald Gap is out of the way. And the Canadians push forward to the outskirts of Xanten, their final objective. This is where the Germans have set up their last line of defense. But it's just a matter of time before they are overwhelmed. Allied warplanes mount a series of heavy destructive bombing raids.
Every day, every night, there were bombings of the city. The city, which was before of that never attacked, now was destroyed by about 85%.
I remember the bombings very well. We had to go down to the cellar very often. We heard the alarm, sometimes in the middle of the night, and we were really scared. It was terrible. We heard the ordnance rumbling and watched the planes dropping bombs. There was a lot of destruction, and there were dead horses lying all around. This was a terrible experience for us.
On March 7th, a month after the fighting in the Rhineland began, and 8 days after their costly attack through the Hochwald, Canadian Sherman tanks roll into Xanten. They capture the bridges over the Rhine and open the way for an all-out Allied advance into the German heartland. Germany will surrender in less than 2 months.
This battle here in the Rhineland is one of the forgotten battles of World War II. It was the Canadian-British Army who opened the gate to Berlin.
In the end, the casualties on both sides are appalling. The Germans lose 40,000 killed and wounded. And for the Canadians, the fighting in the Rhineland, including the Battle of the Hochwald Gap, became their bloodiest campaign in the entire war.
The Rhineland, in terms of casualties, basically 5,300 dead and wounded in, shall we say, 30 days. Like, that surpasses D-Day, it surpasses the worst of the Scheldt.
Strange enough, there isn't that sense of elation. It's more, thank God it's over, because coming to mind is the people that have been lost, the price paid, and that this is not the end.